Welcome to Watching Westworld, the officially unofficial podcast for Westworld on HBO. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we just got done watching Season 2, Episode 1, the season premiere called Journey into Night.
Yep.
Aaron, what'd you think of this first episode?
I don't know what to think, man. It was simultaneously more ambitious than I thought it was going to be. Like, I honestly did not expect us to see this much devastation and destruction. I kind of thought that it would be a fairly small and contained host incursion, that maybe Maeve would be able to, I don't know, sneak around in the shadows and do things, but it's like there's an all-out civil war. It looks like the hosts are winning. Like, this is just a massive body count in this episode.
Yeah, almost to the point where I'm like, were there really that many human beings in the park?
I mean, it makes sense. It's a park, right? It's like Walt Disney World kind of thing. And then I started thinking, okay, but it's also oddly disjointed. Like, it was more ambitious and less sure of itself, or maybe I was less sure of what it was trying to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think this episode was good. It had me at attention here, but it almost felt obligatory in some ways. Like, this is maybe not, it's the thing that they had to do in this first episode, because you have to kind of pick up where we left off last season, which is the reckoning.
Right.
But in a lot of ways, I was just kind of over it before it even started. I'm like, this is not the interesting part of Westworld, right? The violence and the killing is not the part that I like about Westworld. It's the mystery, the intrigue, that kind of stuff. And I felt through watching most of the like action in this episode that I was kind of bored with the action before it began.
Yeah.
And the larger things that it's trying to do, I think I will probably appreciate more in the second watch.
Yeah.
But my initial reaction is kind of like, it was good, but not amazing.
Yeah, I found like I was much more interested in stuff that's happening in the margins, like, you know, Maeve, her plot line, trying to find her daughter, trying to recruit whatever dumbass writers. What's his name? Leroy?
Lee, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add a Leroy. Leroy?
Now that he's got the Roy Rogers get up, he is Leroy.
I thought that was it. The man in black, you know, getting his wish that you know, something's actually mattering. I thought that was some interesting stuff.
His encounter with young Ford was really weird.
Yeah, like Ford is counting on, like, William's playing a part in Ford's melodrama, which involves freeing these hosts, because like, you know, first round of the game wasn't for William, but this door is explicitly for William.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I there's just a lot of puzzling things, like, you know, I know there's a lot of things we struggled to understand about Delos and the outside world, and like how powerful they would be, and like how much relative authority does Delos have over like the countries that are around it, and like, you know, and I just felt like even more puzzled, because there are probably very prominent, wealthy, powerful people like amongst the board of directors and the high profile guests that are there for this celebration, and Delos is just like, we are engaging in communications within the park, so we cannot plausibly say we didn't know about this, and we're also not going to rescue these people until we get Peter Abernathy's brain pod out. Like, damn, that's some cold shit. That's like, they don't like that's the kind of cold shit you do when you don't care that CNN and MSNBC and ABC News is going to be up your ass asking why these 70 rich and prominent people died in your park.
Yeah. I want to know why the ultimate decision maker was not in that park. What did he know? Or she know?
Yeah.
You know, Charlotte's communicating with somebody who's making a decision about whether or not to pull them in or out.
Yeah, I'll say this head Delos guy, I'm not very impressed with him.
The security dude?
What do you mean? Is he a security dude? I thought he was like...
He's like chief of operations or something.
So he's the COO of Delos?
Maybe. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, it's an instant take. So
yeah, I mean,
not sure who he is.
I just felt like I didn't like his face. He reminds me of some of the shallower side of the shallower bench of Negan's henchmen from The Walking Dead.
Really? Okay, I was thinking like a skinnier, taller Jason Statham.
Oh wow, I wouldn't attach that much charisma to the gentleman.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly I'm not supposed to like him. He's going to be
Yeah.
a villain of some sort, but like I don't even like him or respect him as a villain. I don't know. I
Yeah, I
think
kind of wish Stubbs was leading the charge.
right. And
Yeah.
how much fun did we make of Stubbs last season?
A lot.
So like when we're longing for the cup of tapioca to take over from the block of tofu, I think it might be a problem.
I have all kinds of questions around Stubbs too. Like
Yeah.
last we left Stubbs, he was taken hostage. He was captured
there's
by.
going to like wake by the time you wake up tomorrow. By the time you wake up tomorrow, in the magical land of Ireland, apparently you are going to.
They're
be,
the best theory crafters. The
sure.
Irish, yeah.
Oh yeah.
sure.
There's going to be 15 separate Stubbs as a robot theory on r/Westworld.
I mean, there's one in my notes already. I'll just go post it.
You heard it here first. Stubbs
Yeah.
is a robot. I mean, because like. You know, the block of tofu is asking Bernard to like give him answers. What happened here? Answers. Like Stubbs ain't volunteering shit, and
No.
Stubbs has got a story to tell. We know.
It seems like it. Yeah.
We know.
I'm trying to. What about Dolores' plot here? She seems very much on the warpath, which is totally understandable.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of that stuff was cool. I mean, it's weird seeing like humans being tortured by the hosts because like I don't know.
Because the stakes are real.
Well, I mean, no, I mean not just it's not that. It's just as it's weird. It's like it's like as a human.
Yeah, I felt it watching the episode for sure.
You know, I feel like it's kind of must be what it's like to be a German that's watching like Indiana Jones. Like, wow, there's a lot of my people's faces being melted.
And that's
not
very
the German.
much...
All Germans are Nazis. I was just saying, like, it's that, and just like I'm not a murderous robot, you know. But then again, like, you know, that's an open question. Like, how would I behave in a Westworld styled park?
Right, and you're very much supposed to feel uncomfortable in those scenes, and you're supposed to draw, you know, the parallels between what they were doing to the host before and what the hosts are now doing back to them.
Right.
And it almost makes me wonder in some way, like, are we, by the acts of atrocity committed upon these hosts that we visited upon them, are they in turn visiting them upon us? Is that degrading them as beings? Like, are we turning them more like us because they have this vengeance tendency?
Yeah, like the torture doesn't just change the torturee, it changes the torturer. So I would think that whatever beautiful new life form is being created here, that it's but the thing is like, is the damage already done? Because
they're made in our likeness.
They've had several lifetimes of abuse and dehumanization that they've undergone. So but I don't know, it felt weird to like watch that and just kind of witness like, that's, you know, because like how many of these people would have done, I don't know, that's the other question, I guess, that we didn't meditate a lot from season 1 is like, how many people, if you went to Westworld and told them like, these are robots, you can't hurt their feelings, go nuts, like that's one thing, but like how many of these people would have changed their behavior if they're like, hey, these are self-aware, sensitive, intelligent robots, but it's not illegal to kill, rape, and maim them, so kind of go nuts anyway. Like, how many people would be like, you know what, I can't, I want my money back.
That's me. I am a robist through and through, but there is no way that I could do that to something that I know is conscious and sentient and all those things. Couldn't do it.
What if there was like some like, you know, they're capable. They're capable of
borderline.
sentience.
They're borderline.
Yeah, like one of these, like the right couple of electrons bounce around their head, and they'll be truly alive.
Right. Where is that line?
Like,
that's a fair question.
Yeah, because I feel like that there are certainly people nowadays that if you said, hey, it's open season on class of people, they would like grab their guns and
for sure,
and light it up. So like, I don't know. I don't think the world of the time the Westworld it takes place it's going to be any more enlightened. But yeah, that's like, you know, again, that like you said, that discomfort and all that stuff is baked in.
I have so many questions about like technology and Delos plans and just like,
where are they doing them drones?
They're setting up a lot of big stuff. Well, what are they? Okay, there's a very conspicuously absent type of drone here, which is just a quadcopter drone, kind of drone like we know, which could have done a hell of a lot of reconnaissance
Right.
for the security team sweeping through. Like their only form of reconnaissance is to walk through a town with guns drawn,
Right.
hoping nobody ambushes them.
I mean, I guess they know where all the hosts are, right? Or is Dolores
They
and her
do.
crew off the grid?
It's my guess that Maeve probably is.
Yeah.
Because Maeve can alter her own programming.
Right.
And programming of other hosts.
Right, and Bernard seriously doesn't identify as a host to everyone, or their the jig would have been up decades ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of
But
questions.
he's
'cause,
also
like,
the special case built by Ford, right? So.
Yeah, and I guess last year the show had convinced me that these were pretty much stock humans with maybe some implants to like they've got explosive collarbones or whatever. But like I didn't expect a whole reactor core inside their head.
Yeah, the brain.
Yeah.
The brain was weird, and there's some liquid around it that needs to be there in order for it. Maybe it's a cooling liquid.
Like that's the thing that was crazy. Bernard withdraws like I don't know how many cc's of brain juice.
Yeah,
because
he's calling it here in the studio.
It's as good a name as any. He withdraws all this 300 cc's of brain juice and just shoots it right into his brain and tops him off because he was leaking through his ears.
Yeah.
We saw in an earlier scene. Also, I'm not sure I really appreciated the Helter Skelter timeline of this episode.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of jumping forward and backwards just within the same day and not a lot of cues. Like, it keeps you on your toes, and I know that's something that Westworld likes to do, but, like, I felt like I didn't know what the payoff was.
Yeah,
like
it didn't feel
that,
as important in this episode as it did in the previous season.
Sure, like it's one thing when you're separating 30 years,
right.
And like kind of jumping forward and back and that, and keeping people like jumping essentially less than 24 hours around.
I think it was like 11 days is what they said. Like between
really?
the time they found Bernard on the beach and the time this whole incident went.
Are you fucking this for real?
Yeah,
I thought that we were seeing one day.
No, I think it's like 11 days.
So that just raises so many questions about how Delos is keeping this under wraps.
Sure.
Have they replaced all these humans?
No. How long do you go to Westworld for? I think it's like a week.
I think there was it was a maximum, right? You couldn't stay for longer than 28 days because then you had to rotate out for at least a week just for mental health, I guess.
So you don't turn into the Man in Black.
Yeah. He's of course he just lives there, I guess. That was his cabin.
Yeah,
he's got like if you're well healed enough and connected, you can have your own little home away from home. That's got
if you own the company,
all your cosmetics spawn there, so you don't ever lose them.
I'm super curious what's going on with this DNA stuff because it's something we talked about in season 1, right? Like there's this clause in the
Delos
the
Inc.
terms
website
of operation or whatever that you sign when you go in,
right.
The user agreement essentially,
right.
Where it says like we can harvest your DNA and we own everything that you do in there and your likeness, and now we know that they're actually using that for something, but we don't know what for.
Right.
I'm curious though.
Yeah.
That could be like the big reveal of this season is the Delos plan.
It could be that like people die on the reg in there and they just replace them as robots.
Yeah. And there are already a bunch of hosts
that's the
out
only
in the real
thing
world.
that really, if it's seriously 11 days have lapsed and there's hundreds of guests still in the park, which are another thing that was stated, like I don't see how they keep that.
How would Bernard not know about that? Though?
How does Bernard not? How does Delos put a top secret drone laboratory in the middle of Westworld that no one knows about?
I mean, my blanket
like who is the god of this
answer
universe?
is
I thought it
Ford.
was Ford.
Yeah.
So Ford knew about it and approved it, but it was just like a neat, like it's just.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like this is something he worked out with the board, so because
you would think if they could get in there and build something under his nose, they could also get the data out.
Because what I think they're doing is like an assembly line. They're like one at a time taking the hosts out of the park and pulling their memory core and copying everything, so that they'll have. Is that one of the fiendish plans they have? Is to have blackmail material over everyone?
Could be.
And then who gives a shit? Like it's like the public either thinks these are meat puppets that you can do whatever with, at which case, respected senator fucking skull fucked a dead barmaid in a bucket of cow milk, what are we going to do? What do we feel about this world? What do you think? And like, it's Westworld, baby. You know?
I mean, maybe the broader world here is one of political like outrage over this park.
Maybe.
You know?
I haven't
maybe
seen
the
that.
public is very angry about this park. Well, we haven't seen outside the park.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Once we get out there, maybe that would be a thing people would be angry about.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, not in the instant take. I think we're gonna turn it over to chat here.
Yeah, it's about this time. We're going to deploy the true power of the instant talk. We have been running. There's been chat. I've been seeing it at a corner of my eye, chatting, just stacking up here as we talk about. What are the topics that you all, the club members, what you guys all like to talk about?
Yeah, this is an experiment. We don't know how to do this.
This is where we're gonna struggle for a bit. Let's see, Josh L. Have we seen any guests killed yet, or has all been Delos board members? I think those people around the pool, like in the Sun Pavilion, those are all guests, right? They look like they were just there chilling, having drinks. I think we've.
Yeah, is there like a hotel a hotel aspect to Westworld?
I think
or
so.
Or do you
just
live in the park while you're there?
I thought that there was like guest quarters, like because Hale was like fucking Hector.
I forget the map of it.
Yeah, and like who else is that sun deck for? It's not.
Well, I mean, executives, employees.
Oh, so that's
we know
like
Teresa has a house,
right,
or an apartment.
Right.
Not sure. Oh yeah, we definitely forgot to talk about Lee's penis.
Yeah. This man has not a scrap of hair on him except for his head and eyebrows and eyelashes, but he has the densest man bush.
Yeah.
Just magnificent. The foliage is lush and just like, wow.
Yeah, he really showed his ass this episode. And I was thinking, as like Maeve says, okay, undress, and I'm thinking, is this the moment they're going to take to make this actor just go totally full frontal here? And of course they did.
Right.
Of course they did. I feel like Lee is the type of guy who, if he were getting any, he would probably keep trimmed. But I don't think he's getting any.
So you think that's evidence of him just like
It's been a while for Lee.
He's just a mad dog chasing cars and not catching any of them.
I mean, nobody takes him seriously.
James B, what's up with the Chinese soldiers? Is that a hint to where Westworld is located in the world? Like some kind of South Pacific location?
Yeah, I assumed so.
I thought for some reason there's a South America kind of. I thought that it was off the coast of South America or Central America.
I was not paying close enough attention.
But like if the closest, I'm not sure, and I don't even know. I couldn't tell you whether if they were like, if you know they're Chinese, but if they were Korean or Taiwanese or Japanese, I honestly couldn't tell you. But it does seem like it's from that South Asian area, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Will Lee survive the whole season? Stephen M wants to know.
Lee is going to survive at least a few more episodes. I mean, it depends on how long Maeve's arc is, right? Like, is Maeve's Find My Baby arc a season-long arc? Because if yes, then I think Lee's around for a good long while.
Yeah.
Which is great because I love Lee.
I don't have an opinion on it yet.
No?
Michelle wants to know, how about the Ocean Shoreline Island versus Sweetwater? 2 timelines or the same timeline and just a distance away from Sweetwater, or the same timeline and very far away? So
that's a fair question.
Especially since the very beginning of the episode, I took that on my first blush, and of course I've only seen this episode once. That was actually Arnold talking to Dolores.
Right, where he says he's scared of her sometimes.
So that does, and he also said he dreamed that he was on a shore and there was all the hosts there, and which side is he on? Like, I think that they're wanting us to start thinking about how much of this stuff was, day after the Delos attack, and how much of this is maybe mop up after Arnold died.
Yeah.
And I know, honestly, with just one watch, there's no fucking way I'm going to speak without any kind of authority. But yeah, I mean, as Nathan P suggests, I think there's definitely multiple timelines in this, but I mean, it's definite. Now, those multiple timelines just might be days apart,
right,
and not years, but
not sure yet.
We're not sure yet. Let's see. Do we think Hale died in the intervening time? I'm not sure. What's your opinion on Elsie? Speaking of another open question.
Okay, who is this floating in the water? Is that Elsie?
I thought
It's really damn hard to
it's
tell.
really tough, and I only saw it once. I thought it was the Delos executive that Bernard had an affair with last year.
Teresa,
yeah. It looked to me
it looked
closer
like
to...
darker hair to me, but I don't know.
Now, if it's her, does that imply that Ford tried to copy her, did copy her? Because these are, and why, and he said, so, and Bernard said, I killed them. Does that mean that he gave the kill command for these all to commit suicide? Like, and drown themselves in the sea? Or is he talking about
is it possible,
it's hard to tell who he's even talking about.
Is it possible that the sea came to them instead of them going to the sea? Like, because they're
Ooh,
talking about how
right.
the sea is not
Yeah.
there, like it's not on the maps.
Yeah.
And Ford couldn't have done this. Could Bernard have rerouted?
Where the
some
fuck does
kinda
all that water
crazy-ass
come from?
I don't know, man.
It's Noah's Ark world.
The Hoover Dam broke.
Yeah, they were working on that Park 7 is gonna be that Ken Ham from the Creation Museum. He got the old Ford and said, "Look, want to have everyone get to experience the flood
And
the
we're gonna do it
destruction of
tax-free."
the earth." Yeah, and we want to pay taxes. Think of the savings there. Let's see.
Wait, people said it was Teddy. Teddy's floating.
Teddy might be floating, but the woman we're talking about was not fucking Teddy, okay? My eyes are at least that good.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell. It could have been Pee Wee Herman for all I know.
James B. They make all the girls get naked. Why not the men? I thought there was a good amount of
They do a lot of manly
schlong
nudity.
in this episode. Yeah, male active nudity in this episode.
It was certainly like disproportionate in the first season. Like
Yeah.
a lot more women are naked in the first season, but it's never been completely unbalanced in this show.
Tree Knob 77, is Hector really going to be a love interest for Maeve, or is she just using him?
No, I think she is forging a relationship there.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, it is fake, but she's totally on board with that when it comes to her daughter and all that. So,
Yeah.
like, I do think there is some kind of chemical connection there between those two very attractive robots.
Were they weren't really programmed to be together either, right?
I don't
So
think so.
this is kind of her decision if she takes this relationship on.
Yeah. And again, she was supposed to, her last narrative directive we saw was to leave the park, which she's
Right.
So just every time she stays there, she's forging her own direction.
Here's a good question from
Yeah.
Nicholas C. What's up with Hector taking 20 shots and walking around drinking? I don't know if these hosts can die if they don't want to.
Yeah, because like, last episode or last year we saw Teddy was on death's door as he was, navigating William through the world, and then he had that meeting with Dr. Ford where Dr. Ford essentially said, "Buck up, Teddy," and he just like instantly was restored to full health.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of some of their biological machinery is actually meat. And that's got limits. Like, if you destroy a joint, they can't. But it does seem like just fatigue and like maybe blood loss and
Brain juice
and pain.
lose enough brain juice.
Yeah,
Actually,
brain
if you
ju-
got
yeah.
shot right in that core,
I think
in
that
your
would
brain,
probably take you
I
out.
bet it would, yeah.
Right? Unless they have a backup one in their ass, like the mighty dinosaur. And why not?
Then
Why
not?
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Why do you got to peel back the scalp and crush the skull? And
you'd rather do that than peel back the ass, right? No, you're right. The ass
I
already
think the
has
ass
a port
has
that's easy to access.
yeah, you could just make that a
relatively
USB port.
easy to access. Yeah.
The sphincter just leads right to a port.
Universal cereal bowl. Let's see.
Unless you need those realistic milk shits.
Oh,
I don't
this
know.
looks like some people are already engaging in some sleuth. I don't know if this is from last year, this year, but
Speculation.
somebody was saying that there was some GPS coordinates. Kevin R says there's GPS coordinates that put the Westworld close to the Philippines.
Okay, makes sense.
I don't know if that's from one of the ARGs that have been out in the last couple days or what.
I think that was last year. I think because they did discuss how it was like an island and stuff like that.
Yeah, Michael S. What the fuck is Park 6 theme if they have Bengal tigers? We were debating that too. Like tiger, we know like Park 2 is Shogun World. I don't know what Tiger World is.
So the Walking
Jungle
Dead.
Book World.
Yeah.
It's the Walking Dead. That was Shiva.
It makes me question what are parks 3 through 5.
Yeah, I don't know, and I wonder how much of that we'll actually see because I haven't seen anything that would stand out as like, oh, there's Roman World, that's from the old film.
Right.
Or Medieval World. So Oh yeah, Kevin R talked about the baby in the beginning of the credits. When we sat down to watch this, we were debating whether they would actually redo their credits. Some HBO shows do, some don't, and it looks like they've got some stock. You know, the guys, the robot's always going to play the player piano. There's always going to be these machines building like a piano and stuff. But in between, I saw a charging buffalo that wasn't there before that eventually fell ahead.
Falling buffalo, yeah.
Falling buffalo. I saw that the
It's
mother with the baby.
image.
There's like some kind of corrupted eyeball or black hole sun that's being constructed at the end. That's like the Vitruvian woman is getting sucked into. I'm curious to see what people make of all those sequences because they're very dreamy.
There's a lot of water in that too. There's a cowboy hat kind of sinking into the water.
Yeah, which that's with this new inland sea that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I wonder if Teddy's gonna be important this season. I know he was kind of important last season, but not that important.
I wonder if it's gonna be.
But his last name is Flood, right?
Right.
Are they trying to tie him in here? More importantly,
I mean, yeah, we had a lot of ink spilled last year
fucking
about
obvious?
how like that you know, the Indian or the Native American legend of the Maze Man and how he brings cycles and recruits an army of the undead or
Teddy was mixed up in that.
Yeah, so like if he literally brought a flood, that would be pretty tasty. I could get down with that.
Maybe.
Russ E wants to know where's Armistice. I wondered that too. I thought Maeve might ask.
I think she
wasn't around.
She bit it. Like she had her arm stuck in the fucking door.
Right.
She was going nowhere, and I think they probably killed her.
Right. Let's see. Michael Smith. I think is he the one that asks? Oh no, James B. Why didn't they program a kill code in all the hosts? I mean, they might. I mean, obviously, they built in a seesaw motor functions and a deferential to humans that have been overridden. I think that Maeve is a combination of Maeve, Ford, and like this Michael Crichton-esque chaos. That like there's three independent, like Ford, Maeve, and then Dolores were all running these scams that have now fed into each other, and it's like the perfect storm. And who knows what's going to happen now? Because like I don't think any one person has the hand on the wheel at this point.
Wait, did our Mrs. cut her arm off? I don't remember that. I don't remember her running. I remember Armistice stuck.
Stephen Moore's Dolores trying to wake up other hosts. Oh, that reminded me. I was going to say that like it could be that Teddy's arc is going to be can Dolores recruit him to his side of his free choice, because it seems like he's very skeptical of a lot of her goals. It doesn't meet any of his programming. He's programmed to be a hero, and he's twice now been hijacked to play an arch villain.
He is kind of just a hanger on in this.
But that's
plot.
those are the kind of loops and those reveries are the kind of things that boost you to the next level of consciousness. And even last year, someone said you're close, but maybe you need another cycle and off him. So maybe we'll watch him go through his loop this year. That'd be kind of cool. Rachel L, do you guys think the season will mostly unfold in an 11-day time span? I do know that we have seen young William, so that implies that we are going to go back to 30 years in the past and spend a little bit of time there.
I would say that is not a super ambitious season.
Right.
Because look at the leap forward that season 1 took for the host, right? To have a similar kind of leap forward, we know the status 11 days in, and the status is they're still being hunted. Like, that's not super interesting if that's where it ends.
Right. Michael S. reminds us that the Armistice cutting her arm off was in the post-credit sequence of last year.
I didn't rewatch that. Okay.
Yeah. You might never have seen it because I'm pretty sure you didn't watch the after credits last year. You would have done it before the main podcast, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that'd be interesting. I think we'll see more Armistice. She's too interesting of a character, just visually, if nothing else. Yeah. She's an interesting looking character. Man, we saw like Jim and I watched this season on, which is a lot of stuff we've seen in the trailers, but there's a lot of stuff we haven't.
Dude, I don't know how much time do you think it took to do the previously on for this. The intricate dance that you have to do to make sense of that first season in like 3 minutes.
Cutting trailers or anything like that is an art.
Yeah.
Like it really is. And like
I
nowadays,
bet that took like a month of somebody's
especially
time.
on a puzzle box show like this, like I feel like I've ranted about this a lot of recent years, that like we always go through cycles where trailers give away too much, and then people are like, this is not fun, they spoil all the movie, and then trailers start to become more inscrutable.
Yeah.
And like I think we're in a low phase where like there's a lot of movies that just spoil themselves silly and ruin all their best moments.
Especially comedies.
Especially comedies, especially
love
of
to do
late
that.
superhero films, which makes me really worry for Deadpool because it's the collision of those. But my God, there've been like 5 trailers for that, and they all are like just so many jokes per minute and rarely repeat. I hope they leave some for the fucking movie.
Holy shit, there are a lot of people in chat. Chat's just flying by.
Yeah, it's like drinking from a fire hose, but it's fun. I feel like we're getting the flavor of the discussion. I think, and I also think that's going to be where we're going to leave the instant talk. It's not perpetual talk. It's not constant talk. It's not everlasting talk. But save up all those thoughts. Send them to Westworld at baldmove.com. We will be having our traditional full recap podcast on Tuesday, like it always is. And we'll be back here Sunday night for another instant take, instant talk segment. Thanks very much for being from our standpoint, it looked pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Like we tested this a bunch, but every single time we've done something new like this, it's always going the first few times. But
I think YouTube, it's pretty simple.
It's
right. Sign in and chat.
We are always on the balls of technology. It's the technology and the multi-billion-dollar companies that let us down. But thanks for supporting us in the club. Thanks for stopping by and supporting our instant talk. Can't wait for next week. See you for the full